See me shine, but this is God's plan. Relationships so strong with him, you don't even have a chance. Fall from grace, you wish I would. The things I do, you wish you could. I'm changing my approach, so when I speak, make sure you hear me good. Let's clarify some things up. Me and God are teamed up, so all this fakeness y'all been embracing, getting cleaned up. No, this ain't no dream, bruh. I hopped off the team bus, I asked for my release. They like, for what? Because they team suck. They ain't wanna pass the ball. That's okay, I got it now. Crunch time, beat set. Make sure that I knock this down.
Let me see if they're able to see us. Our software freezing up a little bit. Okay, yeah, we good. We live.
All right.
Marlo, Candace, thanks for joining the D Golden podcast. We're not gonna be long. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. Just gotta pick y'all brain on a few things. I'm gonna start with you, Marlo. I kind of inboxed you earlier because the past couple of shows we've been talking about, guys that don't believe in monogamy, and I inboxed you and asked you your thoughts on monogamy as a man. Can you kind of share what you said or your belief
Me
system?
myself, monogamy isn't for everybody. I'm a monogamous person. I believe in being in one relationship with a person at a time. But I think if there is a lifestyle that makes two people happy, I'm not in a position to tell them not to do it because I don't like to do it. So if they're happy with whatever situation, I think the problem is people think the way one relationship is, everybody across the board got to live a certain way. I think everybody needs to do what makes them happy. I think mentally, being in a relationship or doing something that makes you unhappy just to fit into a norm because you don't want to be ostracized, I think that's wrong. I think it's damaging. I think it's hurtful. So you need to do what makes you happy, regardless of how other people feel about it. And people who don't like certain things have to have enough, be grown enough to understand that even if you don't like it, it's for them. If they're happy, who are you to tell them not to be happy with whatever is working for them? So I'm monogamous. I believe in having one woman because I just believe in that. But I understand that it's for me. I know that is my personal belief. I don't have to infringe on others' thoughts or other people's lifestyle because it makes me happy or I understand it that way. But I do think there's a lot of women and a lot of men that would do better in relationships with multiple people in them. Some people are designed certain ways, so I don't have a problem with those people living a lifestyle that fits them best. I don't have a problem with it.
Gotcha. Candace, do you believe in monogamy?
Yes, absolutely.
You've always been that way.
Yes,
Have you ever been cheated on?
of course.
Let's say out of your relationships, Have you been cheated on more times than not?
To my being aware of them, probably
Yeah,
not.
probably not. Okay, okay.
Mm-mm.
Have you ever been asked by a guy to share him?
Yes.
What was that? What was that conversation like?
Funny that the product out here, guy who I was dating was a Hebrew Israelite,
Ah,
and he was walking into that faith, and he thought it'd be a cool idea that I joined. At that time, I wasn't truly aware of what it was, so of course I was against it. I understand it better, but it's just not for me. So I'm not against it. It's just not for me.
gotcha, gotcha. Interesting.
Very.
Do you have any friends that don't mind that kind of lifestyle or no?
And none that I'm aware of. So I would say
Okay,
no.
okay.
I mean, the older you get, the dynamics of it change. The purpose behind it, I look at it different now. Being a woman that's divorced,
Mhm.
I get it. The partnership, the co-parenting at home, I get it from their perspective. As far as my love life, my heart, I would say no.
Gotcha. I hear some.
And I'm
I
gonna
hear
tell you
some
something.
feed. Hold on,
I
Marlo. I
don't
hear
think a
some
lot of
feedback.
people are even
It may be
using.
one of y'all devices, the volume up or something. Yeah, I hear some feedback or something. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. Let me see. Go. It may have been Candace's object. Go ahead, Marlo. Let me see if I hear when you talk.
Uh, I don't think people that are in monogamous relationships are even using those relationships to their full potential the way they're supposed to. So even people that believe in monogamy, a lot of people are not even utilizing monogamy in a high on a high level to really make it work for them. So you got a lot of people that just don't want to be by themselves, but you got a lot of people that are in relationships that are still by themselves in a lot of aspects of their life. They don't have their finances together. You know, they don't work together. They don't invest together. So they still single in a relationship.
Gotcha. Let me bring Rob on. That's right. He said he knows you, Candace.
Hey, you been playing to the car, to the car. Okay, it might be better there. Is it better?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. I went came outside.
Rob, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up? Y'all doing all right?
Yeah. Welcome to the
Rob,
Golden
what's up with you, man?
Podcast.
What's up, yo? You doing all right?
Good
Yeah, I'm
afternoon.
good.
Good evening.
What's up, Ken?
You got it.
Candace got a big smile on her face.
That's my home.
Candace dated a Hebrew Israelite before, so maybe that's what it is.
Uh-oh.
So
Uh
Rob,
oh.
we were talking about so the past 2 days we was talking about how guys cheat or whatever, and I spoke with one of my past guests. Somebody said let them join. Who was that? Derek Massey.
Derek Massey. Uh-oh, my boy.
Derek said he know you and Candace. Derek Massey said he knows both of you guys.
Are you here to
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I was give me a second, Derek. So my thing is, and I'm gonna start doing other topics, but me having 5 daughters, and I've been married 26 years. We've been together 31 years. I know how I used to be as far as lying a lot, and I know how I'm wired, naturally wired. And everybody, like Marla was saying, some people wired one way, others this way. And it's my hope that I'm a realist. I know if a guy right now is dating somebody or married to somebody and he's stepping out, he's gonna keep doing it until he gets caught. And then she's gonna find out and probably leave him, and he's gonna want her back. And she may come back, and then he's gonna play that role until she relaxes, and then he's gonna go back to business as usual. But my thing is, if she doesn't take him back at that point, moving forward, be completely honest with whomever you about to deal with. If you know you're not a monogamous type person, let her know that up front. Don't surprise her later on after you got her heart and whatnot. Because I promise you, it's somebody out here that'll take you for who you are. So men, be completely honest up front. Don't show your representative who you want her to be and say the right things. Like be transparent up front. And if it's a no go, then it's a no go until it is a go. But that's why I'm doing my third show, kind of talking about the same thing briefly. because I just want a guy listening. He may be in the same situation or whatever. He might be on that turning point or that fork in the road. Or do I continue to lie, or should I just be honest from here on out? Because you got kids involved, you got all kind of dynamics. So just be honest, man. Just be honest. Go ahead, Rob.
I mean, you know my stance. Um, Guys lie. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been high time for us to start telling the truth and living in that truth, and letting these ladies know up front what it is. So I totally agree 100% with that.
Right, right, right. Let me ask you, Candace, what
What's
do
the
you
question?
prefer?
Sorry.
Like, what do you prefer? Because some women would say,
Can you
I
hear
don't want
me?
to know about it. Let's say you involved with a guy and he likes multiple women. Would you want to know?
Of course. I mean, I'm 42. I just feel like at this age, the best age to be is honest. I can accept for who you are. You know, up front, just tell me exactly what is going on, what's the expectations, and allow me to either want to be with it or against it. You know, but
Mhm,
lying to me,
mhm.
it just hurt the dynamic. You
Not up
know,
front, not up front. I'm saying if you in a current relationship with somebody and all of a sudden you just say, "Hey, look, I want a second person." What would you say?
I respect his decision. I just be out.
You'd be out.
Yeah, I mean, I have to respect his wishes and do what he desires. It's just not what I want for me.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Where Marlo go? I think we may have lost Marlo. Marlo, you there?
I got a
So,
question
so,
for
let me,
Candace.
so
Okay,
Candace, what
I'm
kind of
waiting.
guy can date you? What does he have to bring to the table?
Somebody's breaking up real bad. I think it's Marlo. You might want to mute Marlo if you
Yeah, I'm
can.
gonna mute him.
Okay. And what's the question?
Yeah, what kind of man can date you? What's your preference? What does he have to bring to the table?
Ooh, a heal man. I had to go through the process behind a divorce to be healed, and I just feel like I deserve a man that's also healed. Someone that's happy with himself, who has dealt with his issues, kind of in tune with who he is, and like that's really important. I would say in marriage, I wasn't in tune with me. I was caught up on the Candace that I became over the years. Pretty, aka degree, this, no kids. I was caught up into that world, so I didn't know who the real Candace was. Like I didn't do the hard work of finding who I am and what I want and what makes me happy. I was just caught up on the things that I've accomplished. So I
Mm,
had to go through the healing process of what is the simplest thing that make me happy. Like what is my heart desire? Like what do God want for me? And I didn't know that because I was living for so many other people. So I got caught up in that world, and through divorce, it taught me that, like through the healing process. So I want somebody that's healed also, who have also dealt with whatever trauma they have, and just be happy with themselves.
how did you? What steps did you take to heal?
I surrendered. I prayed a lot. I got along. I got out of everything that I thought made me happy. I removed it, and just kind of said, God, whatever you see fit, have your way. And I just became obedient. I really did, and just tuned in, tapped into Candace. And
Gotcha.
I'm on a healing journey. I won't say I'm 100% healed, but
Right,
I'm definitely on the journey.
right.
Yeah.
Rob, what kind of woman can date you? What does she have to bring to the table?
What you got to bring to the table?
Yeah,
My main thing is that's the most important thing. Is she willing to learn? Is she open to new things, new understanding, new knowledge? That's like the top thing I look for in a woman. Just that
gotcha.
ability to grow.
What about? Let me ask you, Candace. What if he a great guy,
hmm
great man, but he makes 30,000 a year?
I'm the wrong. I'm the wrong person to ask that question. I would say because I won't say the wrong person, but I've helped build a lot of guys. I've helped. I believe in. I saw a video today about a white woman and a black woman, the difference between us supporting the man at his lowest. So I've been there, done it. You know, I believe in helping supporting the black man and the gender, but it has to be on the same page. Can't be selfish. The amount of money you make doesn't matter because I know the 30 can switch over. I get money. I'm like I believe in making money every day, so I know
Right.
they can switch up within months and weeks depending on if it's really in you. So his salary doesn't really matter. Is he a great man at heart? That what matters to me.
Gotcha. Rob, she makes 30,000. Can you
Um,
bring on board?
um, I'm not real big on income either. As long as she willing, if I want to take her to another level, as long as she open to it. But I'm also cool with her kind of staying where she at, and I can cover. If she my wife, of course, you know what I'm saying. I can cover everything.
Right.
But
Period.
in the dating process, though, I would prefer that she take care of herself.
Right.
Yeah.
Kenneth, did you say period?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Okay, hold on.
Totally agree.
Okay,
I
Marlo
mean,
got
I agree. We
some.
said like a man is my husband should take care of me. I'm 100%. I think before marriage, we don't understand the dynamics of where does a wife or my husband, where we fall in that whole philosophy. Like, what does that mean? So many women we have this alpha attitude, and we want to save the man, then we turn into leading him, and the shit just go backwards, you know. But you find a man that's already in a position to be a leader, then that woman easily fall in place, you know. But I want you to get there.
I got you. Marlo, can your next woman, can she make 30,000 or
Yeah,
she have to make more than that? Huh?
your volume low.
Mine is?
Yes.
Okay, let me turn it up some. Am I low to you, Candace?
No, I can hear it clear.
Marlo, can you hear me? Marlo. Marlo, you may be on mute.
Yeah, I think you muted him when his
Yeah,
background was going
I
out.
unmuted him.
Yes.
Unmute yourself, Marlo. Candace, let me ask you this. This kind of different question.
Okay,
Derek Massey. Derek Massey want to come on. So
come on, come on,
yeah, I'm gonna
Sean,
bring on.
join.
Let me get Marlo situated. What
Okay,
I sometimes I think a driven woman, somebody like you may be your own worst enemy sometime with a guy because they feel like you can't be led or you can't submit because you're a go-getter. And like in that situation you mentioned, when you in business with another guy, if he doesn't have his business, I can see you saying, I got this. Just to make it happen. Cause you can't wait on him to do what he said he's gonna do. So you may be procrastinating. Is that you? Have you run across that any?
absolutely, absolutely.
Elaborate a little bit. Is it frustrating?
Oh, very much so. Yes, it's I've done it multiple times. Start a business, things going well, person slack off or get caught up in the fame of it and away from the business of it, and then I'm believing business first. My mom has this saying, "Purse first, ass last," and I'm that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like take her to business first and everything else behind it. But I've dated guys that got caught up in the name, the fame, and it just went left as far as the business, left the business. So I've always picked up the slack. And I just feel the next man that that chooses me and it works, that can't be the thing. We have to be on the same page. Those that work ethics have to be the same. Morals, values, all have to be the same to make it work. I never want to overplay my position again.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Let me see if I just sent Chris, I just sent Massey the link. So I'm gonna see if he's gonna join. I need some women to join. Hey, let me see. I've accepted a man with making that amount. Natasha said she's accepted a man that makes 30. Marlo. Yeah, I can't hear Marlo at all. Can y'all hear Marlo?
Nah.
No.
Might need to come back, step out and come back in.
Yes, I don't know if he can even hear us saying that. Marlo.
What are your thoughts about a dating woman that's making 30 or less?
Well, that's one of the questions. Hey, Marlo, I'm a come back, Marlo. Like use that link again and see if you can come back. Okay, what are my thoughts?
Yeah.
So
Not for you. I'm just saying, like, you think at 40 plus, anyone dating someone that's making 30 or less, that's feasible?
I think it's lifestyle. Like me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't travel a lot. Like I played basketball, so I used to travel a lot. So I don't like traveling a lot like that. It's just predicated on that person's lifestyle. If they know they want to hit the beach every month, then yeah, you probably want to have somebody that's comparable, unless you wouldn't fit their bill if they can't, if they're not able to. I just think it's just whatever situation the person is in. What works for one person may not work for the other person. But
Absolutely.
I think anybody will put the next person so long as they don't feel like they're being used or played. Like if
Right.
they sincere, like if you sincerely don't have it, and I see you busting your ass to get it, if you ain't got it, then I got you, that kind of thing. But I mean, a lot of money would be great, but then a lot of money can make a person act in a manner in which uh, it's not even a guy won't even want her because now she thinks she the shit now. Because everybody can't handle that level. You know what I mean? I've seen a woman start making money and treat the guy different, and they end up getting a divorce. Like I've seen that. She don't want to be led anymore. And then I seen some women depending on the guy. Let me see. Yeah, Marlo says he can't hear anything. Think that when he came back and had this time. Yeah, he said he couldn't hear anything. But yeah, Derek, I sent you the link, bro. Click that link. It's on the comment section on Facebook. It's on the comment section, homie. Man, but so you probably don't know, but I used to be pilot for 3 years. I had 2 wives or whatever. I did it for 3 years, but my wife really wasn't on that. She said she was, but she really wasn't. So she was doing it because of her love for me. And I remember we were in Vegas, and I think I was recording because I had a YouTube channel called Two Wives and One Cowboy.
Oh.
And people can kind of see how we live, and mine was different. Like I can be monogamous as long as she's cool, but like I love horses, right? My wife, she don't go to the barn with me. She's not an outside person. She's real light skinned or whatever. And the other woman, she loved the horses. She would go all the time with me. So they kind of complemented each other well. The other lady, she ain't gonna cook at all, and my wife is a great cook. So it was just, I don't know. I just felt like I needed that. But then I saw a homeboy of mine. He was like, "Man, your wife ain't in that. Look at her face." And I went back and looked at the video in Vegas, and I saw it for the first time. And I was like, when I get back, I'm gonna stop it. And it was too much because if we was in Nashville on like the little strip or whatever, and one was holding my arm, and the next day I had to hear about the other one wasn't holding my arm. And I was like, I didn't even know she was holding my arm. So you got to be so conscious of the way you're treating both of them. Or if you, in LaPrada's case, if you have 3, how you treating all 3? And it's just a headache sometimes. Rob, you about to be in for a headache. So Rob, do you have wives now, or you single now?
I just got one woman that I'm dealing with.
One woman, and she knows she could potentially have a sister wife.
Yeah, she's not
Okay,
American though, so
okay.
part of her
Okay.
culture, but it make it a lot easier.
How did you break that to her? Like, what was that conversation like?
Um, I just on her background. She's from Africa, just
Mm.
background. Her father had like 3 or 4 wives,
Oh,
so it's part of her upbringing. So it's not a big deal to her, as long as the woman is pretty much similar to her in understanding and not being selfish and
right,
not a competition. So many women think competition when another woman comes in the picture
right,
because they're competitive nature by nature. But it's guys don't look at it like that. We look at them as both equal.
right, right. So let y'all bring up a topic that y'all want to discuss. Anything, nothing's off the table. If you don't, and if the topic that's brought up, you don't want to talk about it, then just say, hey, I don't want to come in on that. What y'all got? Anything?
Okay. That's
Rob, you can go ahead. I'm open to whatever.
okay. I will ask. What can I ask you? If it's a 95% chance that a man you deal with is gonna deal with other women, wouldn't it be safe to accept that? At this point in 2025.
If um, it depends on our dynamics. It really depends on how does it benefit the whole party.
Um,
Dealing with a woman, I mean, that's kind of broad, it's on the surface. Like dealing with her in what capacity? Like how does it benefit all of us?
I mean, it could
Because I'm
benefit.
I'm not 100% out of the box of it,
Yeah,
away from it, but it has to make sense.
yeah. Of course, coming from a guy that that's on top of his business and know what he wants out of life and know what he wants out of you and her. You know what I'm saying? It could be three incomes for one. You know what I'm saying? Three incomes in one household. That's a benefit right there.
For sure.
I mean, it's a benefit as far as the money is there, but what we doing with the money? Like, what's the goal here? Like, what's the over? I'm real big on the end goal. Like, what's the end goal? When we get this second wife, what is the end goal? Like, what are we all accomplishing? Like, when we leave this earth, what can we say has been fulfilled? What are we doing outside of sex? Like, what are we doing
Yeah,
outside of having a nice income? What are we doing with the money? Are we going to Africa taking care of the people? Are we serving the community? Like, in what capacity are we really working in?
I say building businesses. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's depending on the man that you're dealing with. If he already got his stuff together when he met you, you know what I'm saying? Evidently, he know what to do with the income, with the women, etc. We're not just talking about some average guy who ain't got nothing really going for himself. I'm talking about a guy that's already got himself together. You know what I'm saying? Probably make more than you and that woman combined. So he know how to take it to another level.
Like I said, I hear you, but it has to make sense. I've
That,
already, started multiple businesses and it's been successful. So if you're coming along and you also have this income, it has to make sense to me. It just can't be a thing of baby, trust me. Like that's gonna be a no go for me.
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing.
Like I guess another dynamic is I have a father like that's really active in my life,
Huh?
so I'm not used to the whole male perspective. Dad is very much so an alpha man, so
Hmm.
it has to make sense. I'm not getting no younger. I'm 42 with no kids, so let's talk about it. Like what are we really doing? How does is I mean every party going to be happy? Like it has to be broken down to me to the layman's terms for me to agree to that.
Okay, the reason I'm asking this is because if you paid attention, you see how all these businesses are laying women off, especially black women. So they're running into an issue of living in their cars, living with other people, etc. Why not get it right with a man that's got his stuff together and get on his page? And if he decides to bring in another woman that he can provide for both of y'all, it makes perfect sense.
Again, I'm not knocking it, but show me that. Like I used to be an educator, so show me that. Like give me an example, give me a family, give me a dynamic that it has successfully worked, both women and the male is happy. Like don't just tell me, baby, this is it. Like you can't feed me that on the table and I'm gonna fall for it. Show me proof that this is proven it's working. Somebody is in today's time, not back in the day, like right now in this moment. How is it working? Like you can give me an example of the black women being laid off. Yes, I can look that up. I can see that. I can understand it. But tell me how that dynamic is going to truly benefit all three of us. Like
Um,
I would have to see that. I'm a visual person, so
okay,
I'm not gonna go with his words. I felt for a lot of guys' words that didn't work. Trusted the guys, invested in guys, and left my house to move into an apartment. Like truly, like on this duck chase, following this man who said he's the head, and I had to go back and regroup my whole life. So
okay.
it has to be really proven to me.
To move from a house to an apartment though, that would show that he unstable already.
I mean, I get it, but I'm saying when you loving a man, you ain't even going back to what you just said. The whole follow your husband, like if that's what he saw fit, that benefit us selling the house to get another house. The whole dynamic, I ain't got to go in depth with it, but
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
trusting a man, I've done that on numerous occasions. So now it has to be proof in the pudding. I just see it. I know working for Taste Buds, I know what I'm doing is working at 42. So
Hmm.
a man has to show me the proof. Like, what are we doing? How does it benefit me? I mean, that's fair, right?
Of course, yeah, it is. You know, you did say your dad is kind of leading you. What did he think about that guy that was talking about leaving your house and move to an apartment? That just don't. It don't seem like a good idea.
Well, that dynamic is a little different. I've always taken care of my family, so that dynamic is a little different. I would say it was what it was in that moment. I don't say all parties agree, but it was definitely necessary. So he made that happen. But
Mm.
looking back on it, if certain things didn't happen, I won't be who I am today. So
Mm.
Let
Okay.
me ask you this, Candace. How being a businesswoman, and because I would think the average guy want that mindset.
hmm
How do you determine who's with you for you as opposed to somebody who want what you have and want to
uh,
leech on? You know what I mean?
they usually say take somebody around people that love you. I think we got an echo. I don't know if it's me or you guys.
That, no, that's nasty. I just muted him. I'm gonna bring him on in a minute, but he's I just muted him. But go ahead.
They usually say bring someone around people that love you, and they can tell if it's genuine or not. And I really haven't run into anyone since divorce that has given me a real genuine spirit because I
Mm,
already been doing like some self healing. So I'm still trying to figure that out as well. You know, what does that look like? What's that? How does that make sense? I can't really say because I'm still trying to figure it out. I haven't been back in the dating pool since I divorced. It's been over 2 years now.
I got you. I'm
What's
about to
up,
unmute
Sean?
Nasty. Hey, unmute yourself, D.
Sean?
How y'all doing?
Yo, what's up? What's
All
up?
right.
What's up, B?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, unmute yourself, D. I'm
Huh?
unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
Yep.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
All right.
What's up, B?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, unmute yourself. How you doing, legend? Derek Golden? Yeah, how y'all doing?
Yo,
Yeah.
what's
I'm
up?
I'm
What's
not
up?
a legend yet. Hey,
What's
so
up, B?
what you want
What's
to
up? What's up?
add, Nasty?
Unmute yourself. How you doing,
It's
legend?
it's an
Derek
echo.
Golden?
It's an echo, D.
Yes. Oh,
I'm not a legend yet. Hey.
Somebody on Facebook they got to turn it down. I think. Derek.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Okay. What you want to add, man? What's up? What you got?
Oh, man, just really on the topic, but Bob, Peko, my guys, Candace, I grew up with one of my girls, Um, and Candace was around me during my immature years, you know, um, and it going back to the point that Rob made about being honest. Like I said, right now I'm in my second marriage. Um, and to be honest, I tell a lot of guys, man, monogamy and faithful, whatever you call it, it's really it's a choice. It's a choice you have to make as a man. Um, Most men that are alpha males, especially when you start making a certain dollar amount, women are become really truthfully, we speak honestly, they become easy assets. If you're a good looking male, you make good money, take care of your business, do different things. It's easy assets. So at that point, it becomes a decision. What decision do you make? What type of lifestyle are you living? What type of lifestyle do you want to live? Uh, and like Candace said, it comes down to self reflection. Um, and me being a man, I'm like I said, I was like I said, Candace knew me when I when married, dating, and different things of that nature, doing things of different nature, and I always had pretty much access to what I wanted or what I take it, what I wanted and um, who I wanted, especially as I got to a certain age, and I also got to a certain age where uh, a lot of that stuff was coming from, like Bob saying, really just lying, not living in, living in the reality that I was living in. Not being honest, doing this, doing that, and moving dishonestly. And then I came to a point where uh, honesty became my best friend when it comes to whoever I was dealing with. If I say, hey, I got a woman that I'm dealing with, this is who I'm dealing with. She providing this, She's providing this. I have another woman I might be dealing with, and she's providing this to me. Uh, and then all the while that I was whatever I needed to do for them, it was getting done. And and then me being married now, I can honestly say that I deal with my wife and my wife only. Now, that's a choice though. That's not something that I'm tempted all the time, or I have women from my past that still want to try to deal this, that, and the other. But it's a choice for me now. And Bob them know, they my guys. I don't really oppose to anything because I was living the life. I might not even when I didn't even know what it was. I was living the life because I started living in my truth. Now that I'm married, my truth is my family, my home, my friend. Rod and Mattia, I'm totally different than who I was, man. Maybe what 6, 7 years ago. And it's because I really made a decision on, do I want to, how do I want to move, uh, what do I want to move? And my wife now, when I first got with her, it was like, hey, you might not be the only woman I'm dealing with. You might not be the only one I'm talking with. You're not the only one I'm talking with. And then it became a thing where I made a decision that I wanted to be totally locked in with her mentally, physically, emotionally, uh, and see where they take me because I did start getting close to the Lord and different things like that. And reading and learning and learning where my blessing coming from, um, that's the decision I made. You know what I'm saying? That's the decision I made to go uh, and do the things I'm doing. And also, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I'm gonna stop talking about learning myself. I had to learn who I was as a man. And you also, as a man, you have to learn the power that you have. We all have men have different and it's all different type of men. Some men don't have the same access as other men, but men that do have access, we understand what comes with their access. Some men don't have that same. Everybody don't have that same access. Like some women don't have the same access. Um, and then at that point in time, you have to make a decision which way you want to go. I'm sorry about the ducks, y'all. I stay on the golf course and these ducks and everything everywhere. So sorry about the sound. I'm outside and
You
be in
good?
my
You
house.
good?
My son trying to go to sleep. Uh, but it's really it comes down to what's your healing process, what's your truth that you want to live in, really, honestly. And like Pre said, I'm sorry, I call her Pre. Y'all, this is her nickname. This is what I call her Pre. Um, she's not totally against certain things. And just like Bob said, 95% of the male species that especially is, and I'm be honest with you here, these bro jokers around here running around 2, 3 women.
Sure are.
You understand what I'm saying? So, what do you think a man, a six figure, that got control of his life, control of his mental, control of his soul, and control of his tempo that he live every day? What do you feel like that person has access to? You know what I'm saying? So, and you have to live in the truth that you want to live in because you can't be the one thing I tell people all the time. You can never make if you're not happy, you can't make nobody else happy. So if you're not living in walking in the things that make you happy and make you glow on a daily basis, you know, that's what you have to really tune into and get control of and understand before you move on with any type of situation that you want to be in.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of growth there. And yeah, I went through the same thing, and I echo what you saying. Honesty is the best policy for sure, for sure. And let me see, Candace, you got a topic for us or no? Any topic?
I will say this. I've been knowing Sean and Bob for a long time. And
Hmm.
they know what type of chick I am. But Bob, going to you and just I get the whole Hebrew Israelite. But I don't get, and I guess I would speak for a lot of women, the disrespect that come along with it. I won't say that you initiate the disrespect, but some of it that you agree with. I'm not understanding that whole philosophy. The philosophy of wanting women to understand the lifestyle, but also judging women and being disrespectful to women. Like, How does that fall in line with the whole agenda?
Okay. When I was speaking, I wasn't speaking from an Israelite perspective. I was just speaking from just being a man. But from the Hebrew perspective, though, I need a little more information to know exactly what you're saying. Like what negative? Okay, I say you said something about judging, for example. Like as an Israelite, we know how women's supposed to act, dress, etc. You know what I'm saying? When we're dealing with women who coming from a worldly background, so when we try to check them on something that they may be doing from a worldly perspective, they look at that as an attack. You know what I'm saying? Or we might not want our woman to hang around these type of women or these type of family members, etc. But it's to your benefit if you're trying to separate yourself from the world. And just truth being told, majority of women happy with this world. You know, they're willing to go all the way down. When this world go down, they're willing to go all the way down with it. As an Israelite, we trying to separate those women from the world so they can be saved. That's our thing, but that's a battle. And I don't even have that Israelite conversation with a lot of people because our people love worldly things. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Our women love to be half naked. They love to wear tight stuff. You know what I'm saying? They love to be rebellious. They love to say what they gonna do and what they ain't gonna do, etc. So that kind of put a lot of Israelites in a bad position because again, even when they start learning, they still kind of go back to those same old habits, and we try to catch them while they're in those habits, and they take it as an attack. So
Okay.
correcting women in general in today's time, they take it as an attack. They don't take it as positive rebuke or correction.
Mm.
Okay. I respect that. You have any kids?
Yes,
You have girls?
yeah, I got 4 girls.
Do they walk in that life?
Um, I would say no, they was raised in it, but they're not necessarily in it. I would say that no, they're not.
I guess that's where the switch up for
Hmm.
me. I'm a daddy's girl, and like I said, I'm 42. My dad is 58.
Uh-huh.
And to this day, I still like look forward to doing things that's a pleasing to him. I ain't
Uh-huh.
gonna do everything, but for the most part, my upbringing still is alignment with how he raised me.
Uh-huh.
So when you talk about changing a 40 plus or 30 plus woman into that lifestyle, but the young girls that you're raising is not
Hmm.
following suit, it kind of like throws it off. A woman would lead properly or
Hmm.
fall in line easily if everyone in your household who you're over, who you're in covenant with, or just the women in your life have trusted you to guide them into that lifestyle, it would make more sense to say this is a man of this faith and his family also is an example of that. So it'd
Hmm.
be easy for a woman to fall in place of that
Yeah.
because you have showed us that everyone around you, like my uncle is a Muslim, and he didn't allow my grandmother to make certain food in the house. It was just some do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
And as kids, we followed suit of their respect. So we understood the dynamic. But when a man say a woman shouldn't dress this way or do this or do that, but he don't have control of his home and they're not doing it, it's kind of like, how do you get a woman to adjust if you can't get your kids to adjust?
Okay, that's a good question. For one, the kids know they don't live with me. For one, you know, when we were in the same household, they abided by those rules. You know what I'm saying? But they mom into something totally different. You know what I'm saying? The world around them is into something totally different. You know what I'm saying? So I can't force them into something that if their mother is showing them a whole different world, a whole different lifestyle.
I get it.
That's
I
that's
got
the
to go.
battle.
Show you and them ducks. You got to read us out.
Hold up,
Yeah,
I'm finna go upstairs to my movie room. Hold up.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
just texting. It's some feedback. I was just
yeah,
Yeah,
texting.
my
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm finna go up to my room.
But yeah, that's the battle though. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the moms. You know, if the mom's very worldly, you know what I'm saying, bringing different guys around, etc. You know, it's kind of hard to teach them at that point, especially if they're not in your house, if the kid's not in your household at that time. Like my first wife, she's going through that right now. You know what I'm saying? My daughter is 17, and she's going through a lot right now. But I told her, without a man being in the household, preferably her father, it's going to be a lot of things that you run into that you don't have, that you're not going to be equipped to handle. And she's seeing that right now.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we can change that topic. I was just curious.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me read what Eddie said. Eddie Dawson said, because some women are too headstrong, simple.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roberta Walker, who is my sister, said submission. And I think just to piggyback on, I think some women look for reasons not to submit, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's you can't even get your kids to do it. Like, I just think because if you're going to submit, you're going to submit,
Yeah,
regardless of the
exactly.
kids doing it or whatever, because it's got to be in you. You got to really want it.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
think that's a cop out for some women. If they were to use that as a reason to not submit, and then you should want a man to call you up to a standard,
Yeah.
even if it's what you're not used to. If he's your man, you have to know that he's doing what he feels is best for your relationship. So you should want that, even if it's uncomfortable at first. You know, you'll get adjusted to it at some point.
What was the cop out part? I didn't hear that. What would be the cop out?
I think you mentioned something about how can you want her to follow you when your kids won't follow you, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say something like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I've heard some women say, "How you want me to do this when your own kids can't even get your own kids to do whatever the issue may be?" But I think that's a cop out. D Massey came in on a whole different thing. Still echoing.
Yeah, it's good now.
Hold on. He on a different. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. Okay, much better. I can hear you good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Ken. Is that some women will find a reason to not submit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm basically saying. I'm about to bring you back on, Massey. Massey needs somewhere to stay, Massey.
Yes.
So my wife now, very, very, she a lot like, she got a lot of, y'all in it. A lot of very, when I met her, let me say this, very headstrong, put together real good, good job, this, that, and the other, you know. But she was also raised by her dad. And guess what? Her daddy and your dad, the same brand of man. Okay.
Okay.
So that allowed her, when we first got together, to understand me as a man and also understand the things I had to grow in, even at my age. Uh, uh, and like I said again, for a man, it's really all about a decision. That's really what it comes down to. With us, it's just, what do we want? What's going to make us happy? What do we want? And piggybacking off of Bob, my kids, y'all know my kids. All especially y'all know my kids. DJ right now, DJ has 2 kids.
Wow. Time
Uh,
rolling.
yeah, he wrote. He got 2 kids. So, and the thing about him is, one thing that's changed his life is, when I was trying to talk to him, he wouldn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then after everything surpassed, now you listen. Everything I tell you, you come back and say, everything you told me, I get it now. Because I told him, and the way he live now is honesty. Like, stop, don't lie. Don't sell a dream that you're not ready to make come true. And y'all know as well, I have a daughter also. So, the things that I've done, things that I do, and how I move now, it's predicated of a lot of this stuff, come from life lessons. But it. I tell people all the time, and people say I'm crazy, but I tell people all the time, like 4 out of 5 men have more than one woman.
Mm-hmm.
They lying to you, they could be lying. If they not lying, great. But 4 out of 5 men, like Bob said, 95%. 4 out of 5 men, they have 2 women. And like I told y'all, you got guys around here walking around with $100 in their pocket and they talking to 3, 4 different women.
Mm-hmm.
nowhere to live, staying at their mama house, ain't got no car, Ubering everywhere, DoorDash, and ain't got no food, no, and and they have food. They have 3, 4 women.
Right.
They ain't can barely take care of themselves, but they still have 3, 4 women.
Yeah. I'm
I
tell you
mean,
what.
and I'm being honest, Bob, you
Huh?
see it every day.
Yeah, I was gonna add to that. Women tend to like guys who don't got their stuff together.
Yeah,
You
project.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, they like projects. I'm gonna build this man up. That's
Yeah,
the worst mistake a woman can make
worse. That's
is
the
try to
worst.
build a man up.
That's worse
He
thing.
should he should be in a position to build you up
Yeah,
because you're not gonna respect him. You got to build
absolutely,
him up.
absolutely.
So ain't no way. I tell my son now, like, bro, if you ain't got a place, a car, a career going for yourself, then man, you really don't need a woman.
Stop. You
You
don't
need to
need it.
get that together first.
Absolutely,
Any woman that's
absolutely.
willing to follow you right now while you're broke and building yourself, I don't see it as a wise decision for a woman to do that.
It's not.
You know what I'm
And just
saying?
like
I
Go ahead.
totally agree with that. But it's like we hear the same spiel that black women don't stay with men when they down, like or when they going through the
but
growing process.
that's
Yeah.
totally different though. That's totally different. Just like I heard you earlier, I wasn't able to chime in because I went on. But just like the $30,000 thing. Okay. I get what you saying. As far as okay, if you make 30, I can be more. Okay. For a man, if I got a woman I love, boo boo, she working, she doing it, she make $40,000, $50,000 a year. Uh, okay, that's cool, baby. Don't worry about that. This is like my wife. My wife, she came off her job last year, not because she. I asked her, and she also asked me. Now she's itching to go back to work. This is a person with a master's degree. But as you know, I had another child. So my charge as a man and the head of the household is, how do you want to move with your son? I know this is your first child. How do you want to move? I take care of all the bills anyway in the house. But that's my wife. When we dated, it wasn't like that. My
Mm-hmm.
wife, she took care of herself. And she right now we are married, and this woman don't want to ask me for $20. Not saying she need or have to, but she literally hates asking me for money. She
Oh,
hates
I
asking
get
me
it.
for anything, really. And we married. We've been together almost 6 years, and we are married. She knows she's the apple of my eye. She can ask me for anything. Hell, I give her my left. I give her anything I got if it was to make sure she good. But she doesn't do it. And Bob noticed. Bob noticed. Bob noticed. I was in a state of. I was really good. How I was moving, things were going up. I was by myself. I really wasn't caring. I had women, but nothing was sticking. I had women cleaning, I had women cooking, I had women take me, I had women massage me, I had women make me feel good about myself, rubbing my ego. And what was it doing for me at the time? But it was fulfilling all those needs and mentally or physically and emotionally that I felt like I needed at that time. And everybody served a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's just thinking about the $30,000 question. I was talking to a young lady who inboxed me. She want to come on the show next week, and I remember Rob and I we were talking about how women will leave a guy now, not for infidelity, but the reason she left her guy was because of boredom. She was bored,
Yeah.
and I was like, "You the first woman I heard say that like that." I've heard a woman say she left a guy because he was too nice. Like he's too nice. I've heard that before, but what bored? And I was like, so was he cheating? She was like, nah, he was faithful. He wasn't cheating. But she said she just got bored. And I was, and to the panel last time, I was like, man, that's for a guy. You want a guy to commit these days when you would leave him because you're bored, because you may be seeing a woman on Facebook living a lifestyle that she really is not living.
Mm-hmm.
You will leave your man for that as if the grass is greener. So Candace, is the dating pool small for you? Would you say that?
I want to go back to that board relationship.
Your volume low.
You're low. You're low. You're low.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
Years ago, I was dating a guy, and I went to church, and this lady. This topic is so funny. Because I was just telling somebody this story. Well, this lady was saying, whatever husband you desire to have, to pray for him and write down what you desire in a husband. Well, I
What's up,
was
y'all?
against it because I was like, I'm not going to go to God about a man, and I'm just not going to do that. But she kept, I went to church again. She kept bringing up the topic. So I think somebody background loud. I
Hold on,
think it's
that's
wrong.
probably.
That's
Mine.
Bob, yeah, he probably opened the door of the
Okay,
shop.
I muted him. I muted him.
He good.
So yeah, so I wrote down this list of what I desired in a man. That kind of resemble me at the time. I got 3 degrees, no kids, just lifestyle, his parents, in church, spiritual life, intact, big in the community. Just I had a criteria that I was looking for. And he came past. He came. This great guy, um, who I thought was perfect for me, but I was bored out this world. I was bored. And I was in my 20s then, or my late 20s. I was going into my 30s. And now at 42, I have thought about him, and we've had a conversation, and I was just immature at the time. I didn't
hmm
understand the quality man I had in front of me because the lifestyle I was living. So sometimes you can ask for certain things, and they can come, and if
Gotta be
you're
ready.
not in the right headspace, you
Mm.
can miss out on those things and that great man. And now looking back at life, I'm like, I blew that. I blew it
Yeah.
because I wasn't mature to handle it.
Yeah,
And
give me an example. Yeah, bored how? What is a bored woman? What did you look like being a bored woman? What was your life like compared to what you would wish it was like?
well, at that time, I'm a sorority girl, so I like to hang out, like to have fun, like to travel. He was
hmm
more of a homebody. He wanted to be at home. He didn't want to go certain places. He wasn't adventurous. It was just us
Mm.
at home,
hmm
and
You wanted to be
that wasn't
outside.
the life I was looking for at the time.
Yeah. You
So
want to be
it was
outside.
boring to
She want
me.
to be
He was
outside.
Yeah, she wanted to be outside.
It pre, baby. It pre, man.
But
Outside.
hey, I want to say something about that though. I know a lot of women don't like Kevin Samuels. Do you like Kevin Samuels? Especially around
I don't say I
2020
like
and
him, but just
2021.
like I'm just familiar with some of his topics.
All right, one of his topics was women pass up on their husbands.
I
Mm,
remember that episode.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so true. A lot of women didn't want to accept that at the time, but just like you were saying, he was boring, but he was actually the right man. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And you may not ever find another man like that. That's what Kevin Samuels was saying. You'd be lucky to find a guy like that once. You'd be lucky twice. If you find him twice, you're super lucky.
Super
But
lucky.
Right.
a lot of times women pass
And
up on that opportunity and they never get it back because y'all could have been almost 20 years in now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But that comes
And
with growth. It,
that, that,
it
that
does come with maturity. It comes with growth. And I think a lot of women, going back to having a dad, um, like I tell my dad today, we had a conversation or debate. We always debate. Lead me, teach me certain things, but let me be a woman too. No man want to come behind my dad. Like
Mm.
I gotta get okay for my dad first before my husband. So it's just like a lot of things that I've learned. A lot of women don't understand boundaries, just setting boundaries, period, or the word period. I didn't understand it. I was just used to family and the family dynamic, and I had to grow. I don't blame my ex husband for my divorce. I say 50-50. Some things that I didn't learn, I didn't want to learn, I
there
didn't
we
want
go.
to understand, and
There we
I
go.
get it now. You
Yeah.
know.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm glad you said that because so many women have to see that years after.
yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To realize that the biggest mistake they made was filing for divorce. And
Mm,
women are the ones that's filing for divorce.
yeah.
And it's like a 70 to 80% clip right now. They the ones that are leaving relationships and marriages.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's simply based on not willing to learn. That's my top criteria for a woman. Are you teachable? Are you reachable? You're not neither one of those things. It's gonna lead to a breakup. It's gonna lead to
Right.
you not being happy. It's like women don't want that full male leadership. They don't want to give 100% and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna let you lead me.
Yeah. That's the meaning of that. That is the true meaning of the head of the house.
Yep,
A lot of women don't want to believe it. It's not about I'm not you. I'm not your daddy, and I'm not your warden, and I'm not your principal. But I am your husband. I'm your head. I'm the head.
I'm your
I'm the
daddy.
I'm the guy that's and I'm gonna be honest with you, Candy. He making a joke, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I tell my wife that all the time. I'm your daddy. I take care of you.
Oh,
I Your daddy don't take care of you. I do.
yes.
You live in this house bigger than your mama's daddy's. You drive what you want. You do what you want. I'm your dad. I'm the
Hmm.
one. I'm the huckleberry. I'm that guy. So, but it and
But
I'm
and
and
what?
and again, I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna relate this to a personable thing.
Okay.
My mama ain't on Facebook, so it's cool. But you know, I'm my only child, so I know my mama better than anybody. And my mom a very strong woman, very strong, very opinionated, very successful, very smart, very knowledgeable. She been single for about 40 years,
Mm.
and the man that loved her the most, she missed him. I still remember his name. Because not only was he good to her, he was also good to me as a person
Hmm.
that wasn't even his child.
Right.
And at the time, I wasn't old enough, even though I had those questions on why won't you totally commit to them? Why won't you listen? Why won't you totally be with them? Why are you so in and out? But I was 16 years old.
Mm.
Hmm.
So now I go back to 45-year-old Derek Mass, and I know I'm saying, okay, and even though now my mom, she's 74 years old for me 75, and she's content with her life and she's also happy. I'm not gonna say she's unhappy, but like I tell people all the time, we're meant for companionship. However that comes, if that comes in a pilot, if that comes in you have it, however whatever that is, we're meant for that companionship. Not saying we can't live without it, because I mean obviously a lot of people do,
Yeah.
but we are meant for that as a people. That's how I mean. That's just what it was meant for. That's how we were put on earth together. If that's the case, it would have just you know been one
Let
of
me,
us.
let me add to what you just said. The biggest lie a woman can tell herself is, "I'm happily single."
It's a lie.
It's the biggest lie a
It's a
woman could
lie.
ever tell anybody.
Yeah.
To sit here and say they are totally fine with being single, going these places by themselves, sleeping every night by themselves, number that barking ass dog. You
Fine.
know what I'm saying?
That quiet ass phantom ass cat. Cause I
Yeah.
don't
Well, it's
know.
different. I disagree. I'm
I'm speaking as
single.
a
Single
whole.
for two
We speaking as a
years.
whole. We speaking as a whole though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be single at the moment, but I like my peace. My peace supersedes everything.
But what's the
What,
first
Do
what,
I?
what's the first thing you see?
I don't like being single, and most women don't like being single, but we
why they
Right.
don't say
prefer
that?
being.
Why they tell that big lie?
What's the lie?
That they are happily
I'm
single.
good. I
Yeah, I'm
know
I
that.
good.
mean, I don't. I mean, I think y'all looking at the surface part. When a woman says she's good, like I'm content with myself. Not that I want to be single, but I prefer being single than dealing with any type of disrespect or bullshit. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's
I've been in my house since I was 24. You know, and for the man to come in and take it hit, I remember this guy years ago was telling me, "Pre, you got this big house. No man want to move into your house. He gonna want to have his own house, and you move into his home." And at that time, I thought it didn't make sense. What do you mean? No kids, get this house, 4 bedroom. No, why not? But now I understand. It come with growth. I understand the whole logic behind it now. Like a man should have his own home, and if we decide to move forward in a marriage, that I should move in. We should sell my house. So it makes sense now. But just taking charge, like that whole dynamic, being a single woman, a man coming in and just taking lead in my home. No, I don't want that. I want happiness before anything. I want peace.
well, here's the thing. I hear women talk about happiness all the time. In a long term marriage, I'm sure D could tell you this as well. There's gonna be times where you're not happy. So when you're
Of
not
course.
happy, it's not women use that I'm not happy to leave. Just being real. Just to run into another man and go through the
They go through the
same thing.
same thing.
And then the
Yep.
same thing after him. And
Same
then the
pattern.
same thing after him.
Same
And here you
pattern.
go, 40, 50, 60 years old, you ain't got nobody. Because you don't want to go through nothing with nobody.
Nothing.
Women say, my cutoff game's so strong. But we don't care because we like, man, mine already hit. So go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
You
You know
know,
what I'm saying? Because it's making you worse long term.
the first thing my grandma told me when I got grown was, your granddaddy was a booger bear when we were young,
Hmm.
but they died together.
There we go.
Mm.
There we go.
Happy. My granddad would give his soul to my grandmama if that meant she would be okay. And
Hmm.
he told me as I got older, I was something serious. And plenty of nights your grandma told me I had to sleep in the living room, but she ain't leave.
That's it. I was just
So
gonna say
that turned from 5 years to 10 years to
that.
20 years to 30 years to 40 years to 50 years.
Yeah,
When them folks died, they had been married 65 years. And,
exactly.
and I'm gonna tell you how they died. My grandmama died 1 year. My granddad died 6 months later.
That's normally how it
That's
happens.
normally how it is. Yep. It
Yeah.
That's
is.
normally how it happens.
And it's not because my granddaddy was the greatest. Now, when it came to being a man, a provider, and a father, yeah. But he wasn't always a good man to my grandmama. But she stayed with him through that storm,
Yeah.
and it worked out for him
Yeah.
because
Did it?
it absolutely.
Hmm.
Okay.
You
You
know
know, I
why?
think
Because
we look at that whole dynamics. Go ahead.
I didn't have a father figure. You know what I'm saying? Everything I do for my kids, and it had to do with my relationship early in life. I didn't learn it until I got older and understood. But my dynamic and things I have, the relationship I have with my kids, and why I try to be the best father I possibly can be, is because I didn't want to be like my dad. Not because I had leadership or a guidance to be a good man or a good father or a good husband. Because he never was and I never had nobody show me that. But the one person I had show me that, and the one person I had to take lead from was my granddaddy. And
Hmm.
when I got older, he was honest with me about things that he did. I thought my granddaddy was an angel because I'm looking at him like this man will lay down on the floor in mud so my grandmama sure don't get dirty. That's what I knew about him. But as I got older, he told me stories of things that he did and his actions and how he was as a man before he learned to be the man that he was later on in life. And just knowing that and knowing that my grandmama was there with him until the day they died, them folks they died happy together.
Right.
And so we always talk about a lot of things. A lot of things with the women is this year. Confidence can sometimes be your greatest demise.
Yeah.
And people don't and confidence is not a bad thing. Like, so let me rephrase it. Confidence is not a bad thing, but it can take you down. It can evaporate you in many ways.
Hmm.
Um, Nobody wants to go through anything.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to go. No, a lot of people these days don't even want to share things.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, when you're in a relationship, the number one thing, I'm it's good. I'm glad you love me, okay? But it's a lot of things in this world that love me. My mama loves me, my kids love me. Yeah, people I talk to every day might help them. They love me. The thing about a relationship is, I tell people all the time, the person that you with, you gotta like them first. Because if you don't like a person and they're not your friend, and that's not what you become first before anything else follow,
Yeah, that's the foundation.
that's the foundation of a good
Yeah.
relationship. So just like with Bob saying about he have made a foundation with his women saying you might not be the one I'm dealing with you right now, but that's a foundation. So what I'm saying is everything like when you learn it, that's one of the biggest things I learned as I got older. Was that like just I have to be because we go so into a relationship when we're young, everything's about ooh you fine, ooh you look good, ooh you straight, you got a little money, you this, I'm straight,
Surface
we
level.
straight, can we ooh. But then as I get older, I realized man, I don't even like these type of like I'm moving around with a certain person
type of person, and I don't even like this type of person, far as how they move, how they thinking. But because they look good on that picture frame, that's what I thought was good for me. And until people really learn how to dig in, dive in, and be friends, and really become, because it's best friends we done got into it with, but they still our best friends.
Of
Yeah,
course.
Right.
I was gonna add to that.
It's friendship done lasted longer than marriages. And I know some people that have been friendships done been through
It's
some
the
storms,
foundation.
but they still
Locked in.
yup.
What you got, Rob?
I want to ask her a question that I asked the girls yesterday. Um, how many guys have left you?
How many guys have left me? Left me. Maybe
Pretty
one.
Maybe one out of how many?
I don't. Real relationships.
Yeah,
Maybe four.
four. So
And then one. Yeah, just one.
okay, because guys look at that, you know, they look at their resume. You know what I'm saying? They look at the percentage. Most guys go by percentage. If we see that this woman has left 75% of her relationships, that's not a good resume. You know what I'm saying? For a guy to be like, oh, I think you should be my wife.
If she left or he left.
No, I'm saying if you left,
I mean, it's a conversation. If you just gonna base the judgment off, whatever it was. I mean, I think you should dig deep into it. Like, what is the foundation behind me leaving? Like, what happened? Did we outgrow each other, or just time? Like,
that's the
what was
thing.
it?
Yeah, like
I
like
mean,
he like
there should be a conversation. It shouldn't just be based off, just that. I mean, I think for me, most serious relationship was my marriage,
mhm,
and before marriage, I didn't do. I wasn't. I mean, it was my life, your life. But with marriage, it was us. It was one. It was,
mhm.
a covenant. So I looked at that. I dealt with that totally different. So I think I should be judged if I'm going to be judged based off my marriage. Like,
So you
that
left.
was the
Did you
most
leave the
sacred
marriage?
relationship.
You left the marriage?
Did I leave the marriage?
Yeah.
No, I didn't leave the marriage.
Oh, he filed for divorce.
I did file for divorce.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, I didn't leave the marriage. We was already separated.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Who idea was it to separate?
it was his. He separated from me.
Okay.
So behind that, as time went by and situations took place, I decided to divorce. I had a friend whose brother was killed. The couple was separated. The young lady was seeing someone else. The husband came in and it went left, and the husband was murdered.
Hmm.
For me, it's like I'm not gonna continue to do this circle. Playing this, it's not safe. We're not gonna be together. We're not gonna be together.
Hmm.
But separating and dating other people, I don't think it's fair to bring other people in the dynamic if we're still trying to figure it out. And
Yeah.
so I just bowed out gracefully.
Okay.
Let me before you go, Rob. Just from the other two episodes, just listening to the women and the guys speak. I think back in the day, the women were okay with being in the relationship on the man's terms, whatever that looked like. That's why they accepted a little bit more, cause men been doing the same thing they're doing now. We're not doing anything differently, but they just were more acceptive, and the relationship lasted longer because they understood a man is going to be a man.
Hmm.
I wish he would be this way or that way, but he's probably not. But I'm going to stay, and I'm gonna be in this relationship on his terms. Now, I was speaking to a woman on the last episode, and I think every relationship she was in, she left the guy, and
Hmm.
the other woman was kind of the same thing. So I'm like, you may be your own worst enemy. So it seems as if you in these relationships and you want them to be on your own terms, when realistically, a strong man, it's gonna be on his terms,
Yeah.
and hopefully he's honest with that woman. You know what I mean? But that's what I see these days from independent, strong women, if you will.
Yeah,
I want to comment on it before you, Bob. Give me 1 second.
yeah.
I want to go back to what Sean said about our grandparents. You know, my parents been married 40 years. They're still married. So I've been around that lifestyle of marriage with my parents. And it hasn't been 40 happy years. You know, it's been up and down. And to go back to what you just said, my grandmother was married to my grandfather. And when you talk to older women, they do 20 plus years of being unhappy. Just there. You know, who really I'm speaking for Candace now. Who really wanna live? I'm 42. So you telling me if I get married again at 45, it's a big possibility that I'm gonna do 10 years and
No,
be 55 and may not
no,
be happy, but just to say I have a husband. Like the
Nah, that's
thought
not.
of
no.
that can
That's
the thought of
no,
that
That's
still
nowhere near
comes
what
from
we
me.
saying.
no, absolutely not.
No. Listen to me, Sean. I'm saying a lot of women do stay because they feel the need to have a man or
Nah.
to
But that's
keep
the
the
diff. We
home
not
or
Hold on.
we that
So
ain't what we speaking on though. So
yeah,
I'm not speaking on it. First of
I'm
all, I'm not
speaking of
telling.
most grandparents. If you, I'm real big on
Oh
talking to
yeah.
older people.
So
If you
so
ask
Hold
older
on, D.
people,
Hold
they'll
on, D.
tell you.
Let Rob go. Then you got the Rob. You got the Rob, D.
yeah. Go ahead, B.
yeah. We speaking of mainly duty. Women don't understand marriage is a duty. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna always be happy times. You know, I hear a lot of women say, "Oh, those women were they just stuck around just to be sticking around. They weren't really happy. They're more happier than a woman that's living by themselves."
How? Tell me how.
For one, you got somebody that can provide and protect you. Like I said, if you lost everything today, you have to depend on your parents more than likely, instead of having a husband there to take care of you.
So if the husband decides to separate and then come back and then separate again, what I will just sit still?
No, I wasn't speaking to him. I was just speaking in general.
No, I mean, that's a question. Like, what do a woman do if I'm not choosing to leave, but he's choosing to separate
Hmm.
to gain some control? What do a woman supposed to do?
You find out what he's leaving for.
Okay.
It's a reason why he leave. You got to find out what that reason is and change. And that's another thing. Women don't like to change. You know, they more like you got to accept me as I am versus
So,
growing and getting better.
are we changing or are we compromising?
Uh, for a woman's perspective, I mean, from a man's perspective, we want a lot of times we want for our women to change, have that ability to change, especially for if it's for the better. If you know this man got your best interest at heart, why not change?
But if you have my best interest at heart, why leave? Why
Yeah,
not we sit down and figure it out? I mean, I
if
think that
you,
would be the best thing if we both love each other and what we have is working, but you trying to gain some control or whatever. Why won't you sit down, have a conversation, and let's figure it out together?
you probably don't
Leaving
think.
me as a child to put me in my place does not make me fall in line. Does that make sense?
Obviously, yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying. If I know if a man is in that position a lot of times and they leave, it's because they can't talk to you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Are you
just like a
really?
woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a woman. Before she physically checks out, she's mentally checked out.
Hmm.
And some men, they'll talk to a woman, but sometimes the woman just don't want to hear it or don't get it. And at some point, he'll think, okay, there's no use for me saying the same thing over and over. She's just
Yeah.
not going to budge. She's not going to bend.
Right.
And aside from a confrontation or anything like that, he'll just rather remove himself from the situation. But I don't think any man is really just leaving because he wants to leave.
Right.
Like, he wants to mold you into the woman that he really wants you to be, and he's going to try to
Exactly.
do that. But if it's a fight, if it's a struggle, and the struggle
Hmm.
becomes too much too often, why not leave? Like, why do you want to keep doing it when she's not going to allow me to leave?
Yeah.
She's too,
Exactly.
she's too headstrong. Like,
Hmm.
she wants to lead this relationship.
Right.
I
And
get
again,
it.
like I said earlier, a locking, if you're a go getter and you're a woman, not you, but just in general, if it's a woman who she's making six figures or she got this and got that and got that, I think it's a little bit harder for them to submit
Hmm.
because in their head, they like, oh, I don't need a man. I'm going to be all right. I'm not dependent upon you. And they look at it from that aspect as far
Hmm.
instead of like I should, regardless of my situation, if I'm going to choose to be with him, which I did, I'm going to let him lead me.
Right.
And
I get that.
Real
I really
quick,
my
do.
go
one
ahead,
last,
Bob.
last little thing. I always said this right here. I don't care if my woman make 10, $20 million. When she get home, I'm the one that's the head of the household. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to bring up finances or any of these things because if we're in a marriage, all of it's ours anyway.
I
But
agree.
the respect got to be there.
And last thing,
Absolutely.
also in an argument, the first thing the woman is going to say is
Hmm.
if she's making more than him, she's going to bring up something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys don't recover from that because when you're mad, you say what
Nah.
you've been wanting to say and what
Hmm.
you've been feeling.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Master.
Hmm.
And the biggest piece for me is, you know, as I got older,
Sean? Think
yeah,
Sean
you,
texting.
the biggest piece for, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Hmm.
The biggest piece for me is that I learned I got older. Women, the
But no, I
number
think
one
Sean is texting. I don't think he's tuned in right now.
who all the problem. Uh,
Our product
the
out
nu-
there.
the number one thing is accountability.
Hmm.
Women hate accountability.
Mm. It feels like an attack, like Rob
Yeah,
said earlier.
whenever you have to be accountable for something, or a woman has to be
Is
accountable
somebody
for
talking? I
action.
can't hear.
You can hear?
Y'all can hear me?
I hear you good.
I
Can
can
you
hear
hear me,
you.
D?
I can hear you.
You can't hear me, Pre?
If someone's speaking, I can't hear them.
I don't know
She might
what
need to
That
go out
that
and come back in.
I got Sean. He's frozen.
Oh, mine did that too. I just went out and came back in.
Okay.
Can you hear me now, though? Well, just
We
let her
can hear you
finish.
you
clear.
just said okay, like
Yeah,
she
let me
can
let
hear.
her. Yeah, let her get back in here because this
Yeah.
is really on her. But I'm just, hey, listen. Hey man, D, I'm telling you, me and Rob, we done basically grew up. You know
For
what I'm saying?
real,
Like I met Bob when
Hmm.
I was 18, 19 years
Hmm.
old. I
bro.
wasn't even living here when I met him. I was in the military. But you can you hear now, Ken?
Hmm.
Okay, so my biggest piece with women is accountability. The number one thing me and my wife, like me and my wife, everything ain't always been peaches and cream, but me and her know how to we know how to disagree. Let's say that. We learn how to disagree. Because the one thing I told her is whenever we argue, that don't mean I don't love you no more.
Hmm.
Right.
That don't mean it. That just means we're not agreeing right now. So we need to
Hmm.
come to a common ground on what I'm not agreeing on and what you're not agreeing on. But you can't sit up in an argument and say, I ain't what I do. I didn't get here on my own.
Right.
And that's what we got. And women like they and men. And I'm not, I'm not giving us a pass, but women hate accountability. And another thing I want to say, and I'll be done. I asked somebody, and I'm gonna ask you this question. I just asked this question to some women the other day. They wanted to talk to me about some stuff, and I asked them this: a good man. We go in the room, and we got a good man, and we got a good woman. Who you out of those two people? Who you think the prize is?
Uh oh. Interesting.
Oh, this is funny.
Now listen to what I said. Now, I didn't say a man and a woman. I said a good man and a good woman. Who you think the prize is in that scenario?
They're both the prize.
Oh.
Oh my God! Nah, you you want me to give you the real answer and why? It don't even
Go.
take long.
I had a guy tell me the other day. He said, "Pre, I'm a prize too. I'm the prize."
We are the prize. You know
Hmm.
why?
So,
You know why? I'm gonna tell you
go
why.
ahead.
A man is charged to be the provider. What do that mean? That means a lot in a whole. And we're charged to lead. I can lead you. I can lead you to the river to die. Or I can lead you up to the mountaintop to live. But as a man, when you really think about it, what benefit do we have for a woman from a woman? When you really think about it,
Hmm.
what a good man that take her, I'm talking about an adult, mature
Hmm.
man. What do we really need from a woman outside of what's between your legs?
Uh oh.
I mean, if I go biblical, I mean, will you help me? You know, we're here to help.
Now,
You
you
asked a
went
good
to the Bible,
question,
so you
but I
helped my
want to go
argument.
back to this. I just got a question about the prize. So when a kid win a prize, when you win a prize, you win a prize, right?
Okay. Hmm.
I want you when you go into a event, you win a prize.
What event is
Okay.
this?
No,
No, I'm just saying. I'm
don't
just
try
speaking
to
in
be.
general. Like a kid
Yeah, yeah,
win
yeah,
a
yeah.
prize.
Okay,
You
Okay, I
go
go
ahead.
to
got
the
you.
fair, you win a prize,
Right.
right?
Right.
So when a man is asking a woman to be his wife, you giving the prize to her of you picking her to be the husband? I'm trying to understand this whole prize thing
So
because
this is
you're
so when
picking a
I
woman. Why
so
would
when I
she be the prize that you're picking?
So
I'm
he's trying
confused.
to back you into it. That's why he asked you that question.
No, I get it. So I'm trying to get myself up out of it.
so
So
you ain't
I'm
gonna be able to get
asking
yourself
if
out of
I
it because I'm gonna tell you why you ain't gonna be able to get yourself out of it.
no no
You
no no
already
before we go deeper, I'm just curious on this whole prize thing.
mm-hmm.
I'm going to an event and they say, Candace, you have won the prize, right?
Okay.
So I mean the prize is given to me, correct?
Prizes are also earned.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
explain.
When you win a spelling bee, you get a prize. When you win a contest, you get a prize. You won the contest. That means you did something, you had an action to do that, to receive that. So prizes are not just given because some
Hmm.
prizes are given because they're earned. So
Okay, so
when
a
you
woman earn a husband.
Yes, yeah,
yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Okay, so she earned the right to be the prize. She
It's
earned
plenty
the
of
prize
pre.
of him being the husband.
Absolutely. It's plenty of good looking
No, no, no,
women
no,
out there.
no. We ain't
Thank
gotta go in depth with it. I'm just asking a
oh, okay.
question to get the whole thought
Hmm.
process.
Okay.
So I'm dating this guy. He sees fit for me to be his wife, and he's the prize because of what again?
You want I'm breaking down real quick so I know so we can go. And I'm gonna be real simpletic with this with my answer.
I'm lying with it. I'm ready.
All right. So if I'm on the side of the road and my tire go flat, I can change it. Can you change yours?
Yes.
Do you want to change?
It doesn't matter if I have to. I'm gonna do it.
I ain't asked you that.
It's not
Do you
about
want to change?
if I'm in the
Do
if it's an
so
emergency. No, 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 no. If
okay, go
it's an
ahead.
emergency and I'm on the side of the road, it's not about what I want to do. It's what got to get done.
Absolutely. But
So
if
it's
you
not
have a
about what I want to do. I'm hungry, so I want to eat. I
so
need
if
some money, so I'm gonna go get the money. So it's the
absolutely.
same thing, right?
So
So why
absolutely,
can we
but
both be if I'm a woman of six figures and you a man of six figures, why can't we both be a prize to each other?
I didn't say you want no pride.
No, no,
But
no, no. I'm asking. So my answer was correct. Then we're both
no,
the prize.
it in
Just yes
in
or no.
theory
Are we both the prize, Sean?
in theory we are both the prize for one
Okay, so
another.
let's stop there. So if we both the prize,
Hmm.
I also agree with a woman. Somebody put if the God returns his bride, da, 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 da. How you mean the prize? Okay, good question. Somebody asked at the bottom. Okay,
I ain't get it.
if
Let me see.
if
You
we
see
both
about
the prize,
Uh-uh.
we
It
both
says
the prize.
if
So
God returns
yeah,
to get his bride, how are the men the prize? Go ahead.
She don't want to go on that topic.
yeah, she don't want to go on that topic because for one, she
That's
taking
not a good
that
topic.
she
The
taking
Bible is
that
the
scripture
Bible
out of
is
context. Yeah, she taking
yeah,
it out of context. But we'll leave that
but
one out.
to answer my
yeah.
question, we're both the prize, correct? If we both six figures, we both doing our own thing, we both the
So you
prize,
talking about
correct? Just
monetary? We not. I'm
no, no,
not
no, no,
talking about.
no. Forget monetary. Just
Yeah, I
just
ain't
who
talking
we
about the
are
money.
as so you don't think a woman and a man can both be the prize and they both
Y'all,
should honor and respect and
will
treat each
will
other the
you
same way in the same caliber?
well you are the prize because the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing, right? That's what the Bible says, right?
If we're going biblical.
Okay, so when I say the prize is the man is charged, what in the Bible, man also charged with way more than than the wife, right?
Yes.
All right. So if when I say the prize is, that means yeah, you make six figures, but your six figures might go on, a bag, a car note, a bread, or whatever the case may be. My six figure is holding this household together. It's a difference because yeah, like people nowadays with the 50-50.
But hold on, Sean.
You
You
heard
just
Bob.
said
You heard Bob's first statement when he said, "If I got a wife, what you say you gonna do, Bob?"
Provide.
he gonna leave his house and provide for
Did
her.
what?
But
Did
Bob
D?
also
What you gonna
stated,
do?
Sean,
Oh,
if
go
she
ahead.
making six figures, that money coming into the house. So
Absolutely.
it ain't even hers no more. It's what we it's the home now. And as the husband, he's gonna see fit to make sure everything is tended to, right, Bob?
Hmm. Yeah.
So now that it's six figures that she's making, it's not going to a bag, into a car, or whatever. It's coming to the house. And as the husband, he's going to see fit that everything go in place.
Quick
Because she's
question.
going to trust him with them six figures.
Quick question.
Right, Bob?
Watch this.
If me and you got married and I told you to quit your job, would you do?
I'm quitting my job.
Okay, that's fair. No more income.
If that's what my husband say, that's what it is. Long
Okay.
as long as I can trust in my heart, I wouldn't marry you if I don't trust you. That you're gonna protect, provide. I wouldn't do it, especially what I
Absolutely.
know now. So if
Absolutely.
you say quit, it's done. You say taste buds over with, that's done.
Mm.
Good
Because you're
answer, Bree.
going to
Okay, that's
put
fair.
you in
That's fair.
position
Yeah, I look.
to
You
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
me,
yeah,
D.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good answer.
yeah. Good answer, Bree. But you know what? I
y'all
know you.
crazy.
So it's not you. Your answer don't even surprise me. But guess what? You're that. You're that 1 out of 10, and that's how it jumps with y'all.
But understand this, and even though I filed for divorce, Mama, sorry, my mama at my house.
Or Roberta in the comments.
That's
And
my
invite
I
her.
ain't.
sister. That's my
Oh, it's
sister.
your sister.
She
Okay. I'm
want
gonna
the
say
smoke. That's why I ain't put
bring
some
her
of her
on, bring her
comments.
on. I'm gonna be real nice
That's
to her.
sister.
We
I'm gonna
gonna
be
be
real.
She
nice.
want the smoke.
Yeah. Come on,
Verdict.
Roberta.
Real quick,
Verdict.
real
Go to
quick.
sleep, baby. Verdict. Go to sleep, baby.
Come on, Roberta.
I gotta protect you. Go to sleep. You don't want to have some of these conversations.
Oh
But
boy.
real quick to your point, it took for me to go through a divorce to understand. I was overplaying my position.
Hmm.
I didn't understand certain things. If I before marriage, I was just dating. I didn't take any of that serious. It was just what
Hmm.
it was. Marriage, I invested everything into my marriage, my heart, income, everything was second term. My husband was first. But I still didn't understand how to set boundaries when it comes to family. What does that look
Hmm.
like? What does that mean? And it took, hold on, mama, please, mama, Jesus. I still didn't understand the dynamics of putting things in place. Speaking of my mama, and my grandmother, I saw them do certain things, and I tell them now, Mom, that ain't right. But as a kid, you don't tell your parents what's not right. You just follow suit. And as a grown woman, I see now, Mom, that's not how you conduct things. That's how we have conversations now because I'm in a position now where I see right from wrong, and I don't want to continue to do the same thing, thinking it's okay. So it took for me to go through certain things to see, okay, my husband was right about that. My mama was kind of overstepping, or this
Oh,
did happen. But
oh
if
yeah.
I didn't go through that, I never would have known. Like my truth would never been revealed. So now, Bob, I can get into a marriage and say, okay, well, this is taste buds has ended right here. We're doing something else now, and
So
be
is he
okay
gone?
with that.
Is your ex-husband married?
He's engaged.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
But I asked that question because it's so easy for a man to get back married. You know what I'm saying? Women, a lot of times they never remarry.
My ex-wife, and you know her, Pre. She asked me the other day. She was like, since you left me, how I don't understand how you been able to be in sustaining relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I
No.
I I grew up. I took accountability for the things that I did. I learned. You have to learn
Hold
from.
on, Massey. That's our last topic.
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah, yeah,
did we
yeah,
learn?
yeah.
How as men and women, how are we better now, and what did we learn from our previous uh childishness, if you will? But let
Oh
me
yeah.
let me. This software is kind of messing up, but let me go to some real quick. Pause, y'all. Hold on. Let's see if this will show up on here.
I got an answer for that.
Mine, mine, mine.